ARI Comment. This is Norman Jaden. I'm currently working at SDE making SS5s from NavyField. Today I'm working on the US line. I know the community wants to have their Belau and their Gatto class submarines. Unfortunately, SDE does not agree. So I'm going to be following their guidelines to make some SS5. Hopefully the community will like it. I'm not sure how well it'll go, but my guidelines are basically no rear torpedoes, and it must be a post-war design. Let's just see how this goes. US Submarine 2. Fantastic. This submarine hull looks familiar. It should. Anyways, since no one has given me a good suggestion on what an SS5 should be, I'm going to go ahead and pick one from Wikipedia. And the first one that comes to mind is the Los Angeles class submarine. Nuclear. Fantastic. We've picked a submarine. Everyone's going to love this when it comes out. It's going to be totally balanced. You know what? Give it a sail. Alright. There's our submarine. Obviously, we're going to need some engines. We're going to make this a little more fair for the US players. By fair, I mean it should go faster. It's unfortunate that it goes 40 speed cap. So we're going to remove the speed cap for SS5s and above. Obviously, we're going to put in the nuclear reactors. Let's start off with 4 and see how fast that goes. And obviously we're going to need the motors. So let's put those in. Let's see how fast it goes. Obviously speed cap. That's totally appropriate. 64 cruising is appropriate. We've used half our tonnage. We might have to remove some of the nuclear reactors. Weapons. As people should know by now, most modern Los Angeles class submarines do not have rear torpedoes. That's a damn shame. Oh well, we'll just throw in what would be considered a 80cm underwater guide torpedo launcher. 4 barrels. And we'll put that there. We'll call that the main torpedo armament. Obviously we're not going to be having guns since it's a Los Angeles class submarine. We're going to try and stick as close to reality as possible. So instead of putting in guns, we're going to call it a nerf and put in something less obtrusive. So let's call it a, we won't even have AA on it, we'll just call it a completely AA defenseless ship. That will be balanced. Totally balanced. Instead we're going to put on these things, I'm not sure if you've heard of them before, they're called VLS, Vertical Launch System. Obviously, we're going to need something to kill submarines. So, I'll put in some VLS that kills submarines. We'll just call those ASROC. They'll probably use gunners, because we obviously don't have missile men. What else are we going to put on? We are going to put on some anti-ship vertical launch system missiles, because obviously torpedoes are so last generation. We have these, flat guns. Might as well put on anti-ship missiles and call it a day. Let's put on about like 8 or 10. It's totally balanced. It's totally fair. It's not my fault they attack battleships. Obviously we're not going to have machine guns. However, we are going to have some anti-air missiles. So the best thing to do would be to either use multi-purpose missiles or anti-air missiles. Those hold 16, those hold 24. I think I'm going to go with the 16 missile launchers. This is still totally balanced. This ship does not have a supreme amount of anti-ship capability as shown by its grade. You see, its stats. It's probably great. Yeah, it's got an E in armor and only a B in offensive. That's a shame. Totally balanced. I'm not sure if the US people will be happy with this balanced SS4. Also, in the event that there's more than one enemy ship, we'll obviously throw on some high explosive missiles. commonly known as tomahawks, but we won't say they're tomahawks, just to be nice about it. Oh man, we are over tonnage. Let's remove one of the engines. Oh, it still goes that fast. Let's remove 2 of them. 59.9, we'll just call that 60. That's good. I guess that's it for weapons. It's got torpedo tubes, anti-air, anti-ship, massive anti-ship, anti-submarine. I think that's pretty good for weapons. No guns, totally balanced. No AAW. Systems. We're obviously going to put on some major sonar. We're going to have a sonar buff that allows us to see the entire map, because that's obviously what Seawolves had, or Los Angeles class sonar radar. Perhaps some sort of engine on board as well. I'm not sure. A speed increase that raises it up to 90 knots. Sure. I guess we'll just call it balanced. Add bow thrusters and forward thruster. Totally balanced. Obviously, it's only 4,000 tons. We're going to need defense system, so I'm going to say gravity system beta. What else does this ship need? Yes. Obviously, since it's a Los Angeles class, it's going to need electronic targeting positions. Obviously, going to need some sort of Aegis system, because that's totally balanced, of course. Aegis 3. We're a little over tonnage. Let me just pick up a reload assistance, auto reload system. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can make this a little more balanced. Obviously, it's a little top heavy. There we go. We have managed to make the new US SS5 under 4,000 tons. It goes 85 knots and is completely real to its time in terms of power. It has torpedoes and it has missiles. This is totally balanced. Do we need armor? Nah, no armor. Okay, let's see the final grades. It's got 57,000 horsepower. Decent command. I'm not sure about radar and sonar, but sure, call that okay. Let's see the firing angle. Okay, the missiles have a complete 360-degree covering. The torpedoes obviously only fire from the front. Wow, we got an A in mobility. I think, you know, that's pretty fair for a submarine. It's a shame it has no armor. It looks pretty sad on the armor side, but everything else looks pretty decent. Alright. Obviously, we're going to have to name this the USS Los Angeles, or the Los Angeles class. So we'll just call it Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Now, my friend actually thought Los Angeles was spelled completely differently, like A-N-G-L-E-S, Los Angeles. But oh well, we'll just call it the Los Angeles class. Alright, and we're obviously going to need to change the flag. That can't be Kingdom of Wilkia or anything. The Aegis flag? Jolly Roger. I think this flag should be the rubber ducks. Nah. I'm just gonna choose the Aegis flag. I think that does something for the Aegis system. That's gonna be totally balanced. balanced. Alright. That pretty much covers our entire ship.